Hi, I'm Charles with AniCap. Previously, Bai was accepted as the disciple to become an immortal. In the immortal realm, Bai would discover that his chosen walk is able to double the power of anything he puts in it. However, he loses some lifespan when he does. Fast forward 5 years to when Bai has become the youngest patriarch of the Spirit Stream sector and the Bloodlord of the Bloodstream sector. He leads the two sectors to victory in a war against the Profound Stream sector and is granted the role of patriarch of the newly formed sector. This newly formed sector begins a war against the Sky River Court, and Bai uses every bit of power he has to break through their mountain gate. The story continues as the Blood Sector Patriarch explains that the Blood Ancestor's physical body was indestructible when he was alive. Unfortunately, it isn't alive anymore, and their abilities cannot bring out this trait, not even with the support of Bai's Blood Demon inheritance. Now, the Blood Ancestor's body can only suppress the evil tree and keep the mountain gate open. Everyone makes their way to the gate, but they are met by cultivators from the Sky River Court who intend on stopping them. These warriors prove to be quite powerful, as even Elder Lee has a hard time fighting them. The Patriarchs arrive shortly after though, and demand that the Sky River's most powerful nascent soul cultivators come out and fight them. The Sky River Court stops them in their tracks, and the two sides fight evenly. Hongzong watches from afar and points out that considering the two sectors' golden core and nascent soul forces, both sides are evenly matched. Furthermore, despite having the support of the Blood Ancestor's arm, it is difficult to make headway. In order for them to create a breach, they need to go one step further in boosting the superiority of their Foundation establishment forces. We watch as fights break out all across the battlefield, and Hongzong sends out his order to have the teams on both banks swiftly complete their mission to unleash the battle strength of the main army. Bai reports that the raid team on the left bank is in position, and Song explains that everything is going according to plan on his side. We then see that the two had met with Hongzong earlier, who revealed that what they see is indeed the twin arrays, but that is just a secondary array center, while the main array should be on their respective positions on both banks. After it is activated, they will resonate with each other, and every tree and bush in the forest will transform into extremely dangerous beings. This array will be a huge obstacle for their Foundation establishment forces, so when the time comes, Bai and Song will lead the separate teams. They were instructed to find the main array centers on both banks quickly, and given a treasure to eliminate them at the same time. Back to the present, Bai is more excited than ever and challenges Song to a competition to see who gets to their array first. Song accepts and explains that was his intention as well. Bai's group must stop though, as the stench of blood in the corpse pupae grounds is stronger than before. It becomes clear to them that once the array is activated, these corpse pupae are going to awaken. They decide to pass through carefully so as not to startle them. They do well at first, but eventually they are noticed and the corpse pupae let out a noise that causes the group severe pain. After a brief moment, they come under attack and Bai instructs his group to run. They attempt to do so but only encounter more creatures. They quickly realize that there are too many corpse pupae, and if this goes on, they will be trapped there. Bai confidently assures Zoe that with him around, she need not worry. They run into another group that explains that they were attacked in the same way, and are shocked to have met them there. Bai doesn't want them to waste time fighting the monsters, and commands everyone to charge out together. We see that Song is having the same problem, as he points out that destroying the array is of utmost importance, and they must find a way to break away from the monsters. Bai's group has done well to break free, but he notices that some of the others were held back, and determines that they must go back to help them. They are instantly stopped though, as they have been ambushed, and Bai has his team spread out. Something strange seems to be happening, and it is determined that this must be the spatial technique of the Sky River Court. Bai commands everyone to watch their positions, and be prepared for a sneak attack. Elsewhere, the Sky River Court Grand Elder is informed that they have sent their troops to kill Bai, and Chen also went there without permission. The Grand Elder shows no concern whatsoever, as he states that even if Bai can hold up the Blood Ancestor by himself, he is still only a Foundation establishment cultivator. Besides that, the net of death was already sewn together very early on, and it all started when the River Defying Sector stepped into the forest. The battle rages on as several of the River Defying Sector cultivators demonstrate their capabilities, and this includes Bai, who takes out several opponents. Bai is troubled by the fact that there seems to be no end to the enemies, and becomes even more worried when he notices a change in the situation. The battle isn't getting any easier, but it's clear that they are running out of time, and the other members of Bai's group beg that he go without them. They have decided to leave the destruction of the array center to him, and they will hold their position. Bai is hesitant to leave his loyal subordinates behind, but knows that they are right and moves forward. We then hear the Grand Elder explain that his Sky River court has indeed very few Foundation establishment forces left, but now this forest is their greatest military power. He then commands several of his troops to give back with their own flesh and just wait to be turned into nourishment for their forest. All across the battlefield, we see that this has caused the forest to attack its own Sky River court cultivators in order to use them as nourishment. This strengthens their army and the battle becomes much more difficult for the river-defying sector fighters. It's clear to everyone now that they have fallen into a trap, and this is the true might of the twin arrays. They were waiting for their Foundation establishment forces to go deep into the forest, then ensnared all of them. Hongzong watches from afar and thinks about how Bai and the others must destroy the main array before the Sky Banyan tree becomes fully demonized. Only in this way will all of their sacrifices be worth it. In the forest, Bai realizes this as well and rushes to complete his mission, but he is stopped by Tong, who reveals that she has been waiting for him for quite some time. She has decided that she cannot allow Bai to live for even a second longer, and Bai calls her a crazy woman. She calls him a little bastard and reminds him that she promised she would not spare his life. Tong attacks him, but Elder Za shows up just in time to stop it. He points out that he just barely noticed that something was wrong and came to Bai's aid. He calls Bai a stinking brat since even after all this time, Bai still needs his help at crucial moments. Tong is insulted to see that an old man at the Foundation establishment stage would dare obstruct someone like her who is at the false core stage. Elder Za acknowledges that he is indeed a Foundation establishment cultivator, but reveals that the spirit-tailed bird he has brought with him is at the false core stage. He instructs Bai to go do what he has to do as he will stay there. Bai agrees, but Tong has no intentions of letting him leave. She makes her attempt at stopping Bai, but the spirit-tailed bird quickly intervenes. The bird shows immense power and Tong vows that she will slaughter the bird first. Tong unleashes a frightening attack on the bird, which Za tries to stop, but it's no use. She overpowers him and captures the bird soon after. The bird uses a burst of energy to escape, giving them a slight advantage, but Tong has had enough. She refuses to engage in battle with an old man like Za, as it's a waste of time, and disappears right before his eyes. This shocks him as he quickly realizes that it's a spatial technique, and he instantly commands the bird to stop her. The bird sets the area ablaze and Tong reveals herself with a fearsome attack. Za stops it but clearly takes some damage, and Tong is furious to see that the old man is still stalling for time. Tong is surprised to see that Za has decided to use a life array against her, but wonders if he really thinks that he can trap her by using up all his spiritual energy. Za reveals that trapping her for even just one moment will be enough, as the bird appears to unleash a massive attack while she is immobilized. We then see that both Bai and Song have reached their designated arrays. They both call upon their artifacts and attack the array simultaneously. Their plan works perfectly as energy is taken from the forest, resulting in both arrays being destroyed, and the Sky River Court Elder is losing his power. Za watches as their difficult plan has gone perfectly since the array is finally destroyed, and he is pleased to see that he did play a key role after all. His happiness is short-lived, however, as Tong uses this opportunity to take his life. She mocks him for celebrating too soon and explains that she will now send him on his way. The spirit-tailed bird manages to push her back and does its best to cry for help. Elder Za tells the bird not to worry any longer as it's too late, and the two say their farewell. Za is now gone, but the spirit-tailed bird becomes furious. It notices that Tong is coming in to attack Za again, but it takes the hit instead. Tong is merciless though and hurts the bird even further, causing it to cry out in pain. This cry is heard throughout the entire battlefield, and Bai recognizes it instantly. He fears the worst and returns to find that his old foe Elder Zhao has been defeated in battle. Thanks for watching part 35, part 36 will be coming very soon.